Hey there, friend. If you've ever felt someone slipping away, if you've ever sat in silence wondering what went wrong, then this story is for you. Before we begin, if you find value in stories that blend emotion with wisdom, Zen calm with Stoic strength, consider subscribing and supporting the channel. It helps us bring more depth and clarity to your inner journey. Now, take a breath and settle in, because sometimes love doesn't end with a loud goodbye. Sometimes it fades like a whisper, unannounced, unresolved. It doesn't slam the door, it simply walks out, slowly, until the silence becomes deafening. This is the story of Roger, a man who did not chase, did not cling, did not beg. Instead, he sat in stillness. And in that stillness, something extraordinary happened. She returned, not to the man she left, but to the man he became. Sometimes, love doesn't end with a loud goodbye. Sometimes it fades like a whisper, unannounced, unresolved. It doesn't slam the door, it simply walks out, slowly, until the silence becomes deafening. This is the story of Roger, a man who did not chase, did not cling, did not beg. Instead, he sat in stillness. And in that stillness, something extraordinary happened. She returned, not to the man she left, but to the man he became. Roger stared at his phone screen. The last message he sent left unseen. It had been over a week. No reply, no explanation. The woman he had shared 6 soft months with, Ella, had become an echo. They used to spend weekends reading poetry on park benches, whispering secrets over tea, exchanging glances that said more than words ever could. But lately, she had grown distant. Short replies, busy schedules, vague apologies, and now silence. He felt the sting of confusion, of rejection, of loss without clarity. But Roger remembered something he once read. When nothing is done, nothing is left undone. It was a line from Lao Tzu, cryptic but powerful. So instead of panicking, he paused. He did not send a second message. He did not stalk her social media. He did not spiral into self-pity. He closed the chat, deleted the thread, not in anger, not to erase her, but to symbolically release his grip. He understood what Epictetus meant when he said, "It is not events that disturb us, but our judgments about them." Ella's silence was not his failure. It was her path, and he chose to let her walk it, alone, if that's what she needed. Mornings became sacred to Roger. He would rise with the sun, brew green tea, and sit with a journal. No questions about her. No angry letters unsent. Just reflections. He wrote about what he feared, what he hoped, and what he was grateful for. He read Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, not for answers but for alignment. One passage struck him deeply. "He who is brave is free." Roger wanted to be free not of Ella, but of the need to be validated by her. He joined a small Zen meditation group in town. There, he learned shikantaza, a practice of just sitting. No goals, no mantras, no chasing thoughts, just being. He learned to observe his longing without feeding it, to sit with the ache, not escape it. His friends noticed something different. He wasn't moody or bitter, he was calm. Not fake calm, but real, centered presence. And though Ella remained silent, something in Roger was slowly reawakening. He was becoming a man at peace with what is, not obsessed with what could be. To those watching, it might have seemed like he had moved on. But it wasn't detachment, it was liberation. He was no longer a man waiting by the phone. He was a man building a self worth returning to. One quiet evening, as twilight bathed the room in golden light, Roger's phone buzzed. It was a message from Ella. "Hey, I've been thinking about you." No long explanation, no apology, just a few words that stirred something soft inside him. He smiled, not out of victory, but out of peace. She didn't come back to the Roger who was aching. She came back to the Roger who had grown. They met at a quiet cafe a few days later. No accusations. No "why did you?" Just tea and truth. She told him she had needed space. Not because he lacked anything, but because she didn't know what she wanted. She expected he'd be upset. But instead, Roger just listened. With presence. With kindness. With stillness. She looked into his eyes and said, "You feel different." Roger smiled and simply replied, "I stopped needing things to go my way to feel okay." In that moment, she saw it. Not the man she once dated, but the man he had become. A flower doesn't chase the bee. It blooms, and the bee returns. Roger reignited the flame not through pursuit, persuasion, or performance, but through stillness. He didn't win her back. He didn't manipulate fate. He simply became whole and let life flow. She didn't return to a man trying to get her. She returned to a man who didn't need her to feel enough. And in that grounded space of calm presence, love quietly reawakened. So ask yourself not how to make someone come back, but how to become someone they'd never want to leave again. As the Stoics remind us, you cannot control whether they come back, but you can control who you are when they do. And the Zen masters whisper, when the heart is still, the world returns to you. Don't chase, don't wait, just become. And so, Roger's story wasn't about getting someone back. It was about getting himself back. It was about becoming, not waiting, growing, not grasping. And in that space of still, quiet strength, life came full circle. If this story resonated with you, if you've ever struggled with silence, with longing, with letting go, remember, peace doesn't come when others return. It comes when you return to yourself. If you felt something today, if this helped you shift perspective, support the channel by hitting that like button, subscribing, and sharing this with someone who needs it. It's not just about growing the channel. It's about growing a quiet movement of stillness, strength, and self-discovery. Together, stay grounded, stay gentle, and always remember, don't chase, don't wait, just become. We'll see you in the next story. Until then, breathe deep and be well.